We are back with another brand new video talking about how we're going to escape the matrix, investing in coins. Whoa! I'm just kidding. When it comes down to cryptocurrency, I don't invest in coins. I invest in cryptocurrencies with real utility. However, I do have a degen wallet, and if you do want to follow my degen wallet and see what my small, I just dumped it in a bunch of that I don't know what it's going to do. Maybe I'll hit 1,000x and it'll be pretty cool. If you want to follow that wallet, is at heinzlife.eth. That is at heinzlife.eth. And if you want to follow me on Twitter, where I'm going to be posting and staying up to date with everything that I'm doing regarding to the market, because everything I post here on YouTube, it takes time to make these videos. It takes some time. So I can just dump it on Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it, and that is at the Heinzlife. That is at the Heinzlife. You can follow there, stay up to date with what I'm doing. Because today, what we're going to be walking through is the importance and the strategy behind selling. Because at the end of the day, if you don't sell, you lose. If you are not the first one out, get the breadcrumbs of the stick. Not the first. If you're not first, you're last. If you're second, you're down 50%. If you're third, you're down 70%. If you're fourth, you lost 95% of your portfolio. That is how the cryptocurrency markets work. And that's why for most people, I highly recommend the strategy of dollar cost averaging Bitcoin and holding it for the rest of your life for eternity. And you're going to be guaranteed to build extreme wealth over time, because Bitcoin is like a black hole that's just sucking all of the time and energy out of the fiat currency system. And it's going to be $100+ trillion asset class. That is what it is going to be. What is our selling strategy? When do we liquidate and move our funds into Bitcoin? At the end of the day here, the goal, the next 10 years, we're in the Bitcoin gold rush. The goal for the next 10 years is to accumulate as much Bitcoin as humanly possible. And one way that I'm going to massively, as a catalyst, massively increase the amount of Bitcoin that I can purchase in a short period of time is by trading higher risk, higher volatile markets, such as the degen markets, such as the crypto gaming niches, such as the AI coins. These are called altcoins. And I already own them. Now I just need to make sure I properly sell them when the market turns around. So what are key indicators that we need to look for in selling? Here's the thing. I don't even know if I'm going to get it right. I might completely fuck this up, and the ego is going to get to my head, and I'm going to want another 2x, and then it's all going to get dumped on me. I hope that doesn't happen. The reason why I hope that doesn't happen, and I don't think it will happen, is because I've experienced and I've already lived an entire market cycle where I hadn't have sold, and I sat on a 90% loss for the last 3 years. And I've been buying it up ever since. I've been buying it with my commission checks because I am a real estate agent, and I've done pretty well the last 2 years as a real estate agent. So I made a lot of money. I lost a lot of money. I've experienced the full cycle. And here's the number one thing that I've realized. I have a vivid memory when I was walking through the grocery store. This was 3.5, whatever it was, 2021 peak Bitcoin. And I was walking down the grocery store, and the meat case guy started showing me his crypto portfolio. And he was showing me the thousands of dollars that he was making. He's like, I'm going to be a millionaire. If you have somebody who works a meat case for a living, and he's interested in the markets, the reason why he's interested in the markets is because this is an attention-driven economy. The markets are priced directly proportional to the attention that the markets are getting. And if you have a low-class meat case worker buying up cryptocurrencies, that means the attention is capped out. The attention in this marketplace is maxed. And it's only going to be a matter of time where the liquidity cycle turns around, the attention disappears, and the whales liquidate, selling their positions. And that's the number one indicator for me, is when people start talking about it. I haven't had a friend come to me in the last 2 years asking about crypto. I might have had 2 friends. And the only reason why is because I've been posting about it on my social media. Even with me posting about it, I don't even have a ton of people coming to me asking about Bitcoin, asking about crypto, asking what is this asset class? Why is it important? What should I invest in it? I guarantee you, when this fear and greed index hits the max green in the next couple of months, when the liquidity cycle goes, when liquidity comes up, because these cycles are directly proportional to market liquidity, to the M2 money supply. In fact, if you actually take our market's liquidity and you, in percentage point, attach it to the S&P 500, they're correlated to a rate of 98.5%. They're pretty much identical. And it goes for cryptocurrency as well. The only difference is that cryptocurrency is in a phase where it's a network that's being adopted by millions and millions and millions, if not over time billions of people, the entire world, and it's going to accumulate all that wealth. So when do we sell? We sell, identify number one. We sell when people start talking about it in our lives who have never talked about it before. They start asking questions about it. They know you're involved. They know you invested early. They know you've made a lot of money because we bought when everyone was fearful and when there was no attention in the marketplace. But now once there's attention and once people talk about it and once they're asking about it, that is a huge indicator where it is ready to sell and move our high return investments into Bitcoin. The second thing is we need to pay attention to the Federal Reserve's monetary policy. Now, this is all based on monetary policy. That is exactly what impacts the prices. And it's mind-blowing to me that people don't understand that a flip is they just flip a switch and all of a sudden the money printers are on and all of a sudden the markets go crazy. And nobody has any idea that this is how our system works. The 4-year market cycle, it's all based on refinancing the debt when we brought interest rates to zero during 2008. A very good person to listen to it's called the Everything Code, Al Paul. He's a really good person to listen to because he's got it on the money. He's got it 100% right. Well, right now we're about to begin quantitative easing. We're about to begin the easing cycle where we increase liquidity, we increase the M2 money supply. They start putting bonds on their balance sheets. They start dropping interest rates, making borrowing money more affordable, which means people can have more purchasing power, less amount of a monthly payment. And all of these things stimulate the economy and drive prices to the moon. They begin tightening, they do the opposite. They increase interest rates, making money more expensive to borrow. They release bonds off their balance sheets, trying to sell it to other people. They stopped increasing the M2 money supply, cutting liquidity, cutting the amount of money in the system that can be transacted to drive prices down. Now, the problem is these markets are priced on attention and expectations. Those are the two things that price markets. Values are manipulated through attention and expectation. Now, the problem is if we're trying to strategically sell and get out of the market when we expect the Federal Reserve to begin the tightening cycle, we're already too late. Do you understand? Because now that expectation has already been set for the rest of the market. So we have to pretty much guess when they're going to flip the switch the other direction out of thin air. We have no idea because these people can do whatever the they want. We don't have a choice, and we don't have insider information. I ain't in the elite group, you know. So only thing that I can do is base it on where I think the attention is going to go, and that's the reason why I base my sells on when there's a massive amount of attention in the marketplace. As soon as I find out what that Federal Reserve and what the monetary policy is going to change to, it's already too late. The monetary policy gets to choose what kind of market cycle we go through. We're either going to go through a normal market cycle, we're either going to go through a bubble cycle, or the cycle is going to be cut short. The last cycle was cut short. That's my key indicator. I am just paying attention to the attention, and that's what I'm going to do. But here's what you need to understand about investing in crypto markets is when human emotion is involved. Say you have $100 and you're playing the game, right? And you get a 10x. Now you have $1,000, right? And you think to yourself, oh, if I just get one more 2x, that's another $1,000. And then it hits. And you're like, if I just get one more 2x, that's another $2,000. And then if I get another 2x, that's another $4,000. And if I get 2x, that's another $8,000. And every time you hit that new benchmark, your ego and your greed hits the market. It hits the market. And your job is to not let it impact the clarity of your sell. Because there's going to be a point in time where you're wrong. And it's not going to 2x. And it's going to get dumped on. And all of your gains are gone. The other thing you need to take into consideration is that, say you hit the 10x, right? Now your 1,000 went to 10,000. Well, guess what? The market capitalization of the company also 10x'd. So say you had a company that was worth $1 billion. Now it's at $10 billion. In order for you to get that 2x, another $10 billion needs to enter that market, that company, that specific cryptocurrency. So you need to understand that to get the 2x, you need 10 times more capital to enter the market to get the same 2x return. And then after that, you need 20 times the capital because you went from 1 billion to 10 billion. And then to 2x that, you need another 10 billion. And then to 2x that, you need another 20 billion. So you need to take perspective of the amount of capital it's going to take to make these multipliers. And right now, we're so early. We haven't even beginning the easing side. They haven't even begin easing the policy, which increases the money supply, which increases purchasing power, which increases attention. They haven't even begun it. And that's where we're at. Another key indicator outside of attention and expectation is Bitcoin. What is Bitcoin doing? Because Bitcoin, the whole market revolves around Bitcoin and the price of Bitcoin. If we look here, we want to sell when Bitcoin surpasses its all-time high. But the thing is that's scary is there's going to be drawbacks. Like right here, there's a gnarly drawback, right? A drawback on the altcoin market is not going to be 20, 30%. It's going to be 70, 80%. They're terrifying. It is so terrifying because you hit a 30, 50x, but then you lost 80% of your gains. That's a terrifying place to be. However, if Bitcoin rebounds, now you're up another 50 to 100x. So, we need to pay attention to what Bitcoin is going, where Bitcoin is and what Bitcoin's going to do. And ultimately, my selling point, I do think that this is going to be a bubble cycle and Bitcoin is going to blow people's mind and hit anywhere from $500,000 to $1 million. That's what I personally believe. However, I'm not going to bet on that in the altcoin market. What I'm going to do is I'm going to sell when Bitcoin hits over $100,000 because at that point, that's a benchmark. There might be some consolidation, and if it passes it, it's going to rocket, hopefully 150. And between 100 and 150, I'm going to start making my sells, and I'm going to move it into Bitcoin. And then my expectation is I'm going to hit 50, 100Xs in the altcoin market, and then Bitcoin's going to go to $500,000 to $1 million, and I'm still going to benefit that additional 8x on top of the 150x or the 100x that I've made. I'm not going to risk trying to get 1,000x because, like I said, they could just change the monetary policy and we're off. Like there's no other choice. That's my little video today, focusing on selling. You want to sell when the attention is at its high. You want to sell before the expectation that the policy is going to begin tightening. You want to sell when based on Bitcoin and where Bitcoin is going to go. Then you also want to understand the idea that you buy when other people are fearful and you sell when other people are greedy. And that is directly correlated to the attention rule. And that's all I got for today. Currencies, if you want any projects for me to look into, throw them in the comment section. I'll take a look.